Hey everybody, my name is Garin. I'm on a mission to talk to one person from every country in the world, and today I'm talking to Abu Rami from Syria. The vision behind my website is to be able to help people connect on an individual basis from around the world without our governments being the intermediary. We hear so much of our perceptions of each other are dictated by our governments, what we're told, what we see on TV, whatever it is. But I just want to be able to have individual people see each other's faces, hear each other's voices, and I can't really think of a better application of that philosophy than speaking to somebody from Syria right now. We're on the verge of an American military intervention that has no ability to bring about positive change, but has so much risk for the loss of more innocent life, for getting us involved in a conflict that has no end, that we can't win, and hopefully I'm wrong, but possibly sparking a larger regional war. So, I wanted to speak to somebody from Syria just to get their perceptions and get their inside look onto what's happening over there. So I was super fortunate to be able to speak to Abu Rami, really cool guy, sheds so much light on what's happening over there right now. So I hope that this is a informative and insightful and enlightening conversation, and I hope that it can help you develop a more accurate opinion about what's going on over there. Make sure to stay through the whole thing. He's going to tell us about how the conflict got started, what daily life is like there right now, what people's opinions are on an American military strike. Most people don't want it. So here it is. I hope that you enjoy.
Yeah,
Great. Well, thank you, Abu Rami. It's
it's
a
yeah. Thank for you. It's a nickname, of course. It's not my real name.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
So, I, saw that you're from Homs, and I don't know a lot about the geography of Syria, but that's a name that I hear a lot. There's been a lot of fighting in your city. Is that right?
yeah. That's right. And it's called since this our uprising, the capital of Syrian revolution.
Okay.
Homs is the capital of Syrian revolution because it's sacrificed a lot, and we didn't stop in our at the first time in our peacefully demonstrations. Second, the FSA and the Syrian rebels, they were in the center of the city, so it has a very a good value on this revolution, and the Syrian regime wanted to take and to set control on the whole of this city because it has a strategical location
Mm-hmm.
for his government.
Okay. Man, there's so many questions to ask. I feel like in the United States and probably everywhere else in the world, we hear so much chatter kind of on the periphery, but we never hear from actual people. We hear our government, our politicians, and different people give us their opinions or what they think that we should know. But I've never just heard from a Syrian person before, so I would be interested to know kind of what was life like before the conflict started. A lot of people think of the Middle East as like, well, there's always conflict, but that wasn't the case in Syria. And then how did the protests start and then turn into what it is today? And then now, what's daily life like in Homs? I know that's a lot to ask, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, frankly, at the start of this our uprising, the people wanted to gain their freedom, their judgment from this unfair reality. We were living in unfair reality.
mm-hmm.
The security forces and the military and the high level men on political situations here in Syria are controlling everything.
Mm.
And they didn't allow us to talk what are going in our mind. You shouldn't talk what is going on in our mind, and you always must be blinded not to see on your eyes. So and it's like a family, a group of a big family. It's Al Assad family, and his allies are controlling in the whole Syria. They didn't allow to anyone who had the good qualities, qualifications, to put him on the right place on Syria. So this is the very important reason that we didn't improve our skills, and Syria are still walking in the same place. They didn't move to wars. So we only, as me for civilians here in Syria, and as me as youth, and the other persons, other youth also, looking to the television and see the outside world, how it's modern, how it's technologies, and people are making different parties and exercise their political lives as well. So we knew from our ancestors, our parents, that in the 1980 and 1919 and 2000 also, there are many trying to change this reality, but the regime didn't allow them and make a lot of detainees on jails and make all of them are absent. So we were afraid, but at the beginning of this uprising, we were looking for what was happening in Egypt. The revolution in Egypt was the first. And so we thought that if we might go in a peaceful revolution and we called for our demands for liberties, for freedom, it's for us as a normal persons, it's a normal demands also, and we believe that might be responded. But when we started in our peaceful demonstrations, about 1 month, 2 months, the regime started to arrest a lot of activists, a lot of people. Then in the next few months, about 4 months, the regime started to shoot on the peaceful demonstrations. So when we saw and hear this actions are being acted on the civilians on the ground, are many of innocent people were normal walking toward the streets calling for their demands, were being shot and dead on the ground in front of our eyes. It's something so difficult and something so hard for us. And we were talking to the media, to Arabic media, and later to the foreign media, and because that Bashar al-Assad, his regime, will not step on from his rule, will not step down. I'm sorry, will not step down from his rule, and he will continue and will do whatever to do to stop this uprising. Then at the next month, we have located about dozens and hundreds of militaries shot down by the live bullets, and the Syrian regime make the armored vehicles went into the streets and surround many cities, including Daraa, Damascus, and here in Homs we were in a very difficult situation. Then we saw that the necessity is called us to when someone trying to kill you, you need to do something to prevent him to do this. So this important thing that push some people, some guys, some soldiers inside the Syrian army, defect this Syrian army and create what is called now FSA, a Free Syrian Army, and to carry weapons to defeat this Syrian regime troops and the security forces. In addition, the Syrian regime has something working toward days called Ashabiha. Shabiha are a group of people working together to the regime. They are not working to a government constitution, and they are not working in the Syrian army. They are working as gangs, as assassins. They working for paying money. So the regime paying for them money to killing the innocent people and prevent them to go outside demonstrations. So we were facing at the first of all these three parts: the Syrian army, security forces, and militia of Ashabiha, as I told you. So then the peaceful revolution turned into what you are seeing now: Syrian regime troops and militia of Shabiha, in addition to Hezbollah party, engaged into this conflict. All of them are one side. On the other side, or the people's side, are the Syrian Free Syrian Army and the Syrian rebels who are carrying weapons. So this is how it turned into conflict by weapons. But at the end, there is no balance between two powers, because the Syrian regime has troops, has anti-aircraft weapons, has jets, has tanks. But our rebels, the Syrian rebels, and the FSA has only the very normal weapons, Kalashnikov and etc. So there is no balance between the two sides, and for that reason, our uprising takes too long. We almost get in the third year of our uprising. Of course, all of these circumstances has many reasons for that. The most important reason is that the international community and the Security Council and the foreign world, they didn't involve and stop these genocides that are being on the Syrian people. They knew at the first time that Bashar al-Assad will do and execute the Syrian people, the Syrian activists, but they didn't take any ethical stand to prevent him to do this. Only enough with speech.
Looks like we froze up there. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard you again.
Yeah. So the international community and other foreign world didn't take any ethical stand to high pressure on Bashar al-Assad and his regime to stop him, to prevent him from this barbaric actions against the Syrian people. So finally, the normal result will be like this. Here we are. We have here nowadays more than 100,000 people got killed, innocent people.
Oh.
And in addition, the Syrian regime, what you can imagine, a large weapon, he used it. He used rockets, he used missiles, he used mortars, he used helicopters, armored helicopters, he used surveillance to watching us from above the sky. He used tanks, he used anti-aircraft weapons, and he uses Scud missiles. This one Scud missiles can destroy at least a whole neighborhood.
Oh.
And he used it for more than 4 times. Can anyone imagine that the Syrian regime used all of these tools against the Syrian people, and no one outside world trying to stop him? Why? The question is why America and the Europe Union and the foreign world didn't take any powerful stand such we are seeing now these days why he didn't take such a powerful stand when Bashar al-Assad killed that amount of people. And now when Bashar al-Assad used the chemical weapons and we lost more than 1,300 souls in 24 hours, now they will stop him and make a military attack against Syria and all of this. And the America and the European Union and all of these countries has already known that Bashar al-Assad will use the chemical weapons. It's very complicated. We are here in Syria are very weird. Why you let him to use such a weapon against the Syrian people? When someone kill you in a pistol, he can kill you in a bomb, and he can kill you in a chemical weapons. So at the first time, why you didn't stop him? Why you didn't take any high pressure on him? So I don't know how can I say it, or it's such a big game on the people, on the all people, the American people, the Europe people, the French people, and the Arab as well. I don't know what can I say it, but it's such a dilemma now here.
Yeah. Just really quick, the video went away. I don't know if you could start your camera again or not. If not, we can just do it without it. There we go.
Yeah.
So, and I hope that, you know, if I ask anything that's offensive, it's not my intention. I just am curious. So, a lot of people in America now say that we've waited too long, and that there's a lot of the opposition is not united, and there's lots of like Al Qaeda and extremists, and that if we were to get involved now, we might run the risk of like opening the door for extremists to take over, and then Syria would go from a secular country and backslide into more fundamentalist. Is that a valid argument?
Yes, we can say that, and also we can say that the bigger countries has also a role in this dilemma that we are involved. And the opposition outside are not united as we were looking for. It's not united very good to take the Syria into the cost to take Syria into another step towards. Yes, but why we went into this end of this way? Because the bigger country, one country want this man and this person and to put him in some places. The other countries want some benefits from this other persons. And also, the Syrian opposition are not united as well. And I am not saying nothing like this. I agree with you. But because of this too long period, you will see something like this. You will see a group of people are agree in some point. The other people are also different from the others. You know, so it's very normal, very normal thing. In the past months, when I spoke and talked to foreign media, they asked me if America and the foreign world will provide the FSA and the opposition weapons. How we can be sure that it's not will put on the wrong hands. Yeah, how you can ask me this, and the foreign world know exactly what are the right hands and what are the wrong hands. So why you ask me this question? You already know, and the outside world, when he will decide to provide us in weapons that might change the rule of the game, he already knew what are the right side to give him a weapon, and the other side which are not allowed to give him any kind of weapon. So it's clear for them. It's something like We need to take it so long, take it too long, the uprising, until I will came at the end and to make everything clear, and you stop killing, and you stop making a war, and I am the Superman that will finish everything on the ground. You know what I mean? So, frankly, it's a very critical situation that we arrive nowadays.
Yeah. So I'd like to get your perspective on this, your reaction. So I'm 28, and September 11th, 2001 happened when I was 16. So I was, a young guy. I was in high school, and like our whole country changed at that point. Where we thought that we were attacked, and there's this radical, fundamentalist Islamic movement that we have to go out and fight. And for like the 12 years since then, we've started 2 wars that have gone on for so long. So many of my friends have gone over and fought, and they've realized that we haven't accomplished anything there. All that happened were tons and tons of civilians lost their lives. We ruined 2 countries. Now we're flying drones in Yemen and in Pakistan and killing children all the time. We're supporting Bahrain, who are killing their protesters. We're giving the regime money and guns. We're a destabilizing force in Egypt for what's happening there. And for a young person like me, for the last 12 years, I've seen so much conflict and war. In America, in my opinion, doesn't play a noble role in that. We instigate it. Look at what's happening in Iran right now. We're trying so hard to go to war with that country. Even when they do make steps in the right direction, they vote for Rouhani, this moderate president. We passed the harshest sanctions yet to undermine his presidency before it starts. It's obvious to me that my government only wants war and conflict, and they want our people to be afraid. They want us to be afraid of you, to think that you're bad people, so that we let them. I don't know how much you've heard in your country, but they wiretap and spy on all communications. We have this police state now, so I'm kind of rambling now, but the point is, they don't do any of these things for noble reasons. It's all about money and power and control. Your video went away again. So anyways, the reason why I say all that is because thinking the way that I do, when my government tells me that we need to go to Syria to get involved in this conflict, on the one hand, I say it breaks my heart to see what's happening to your people. And I wish that maybe there is a way for us to help the people, that the people aren't suffering the way that you are. But I don't trust my government that they're the ones that are going to solve the problem, and I don't trust them that they have the right motivations in mind. And when my president gets on TV, like he has this week, and said that he's going to go to war no matter what, no matter who supports him, even if the people don't support him, I think, oh my gosh, here's another conflict. We're going to ruin another country, more lives. What's your reaction to that? Is that a valid argument, or are you like, no, you guys you need to come help us?
Yeah. Frankly, I'm really got emotion by your words, and I really understand what you and your people as your mind are going through. It's something so weird when we are here in the Arab world, and we are here in Syria. They told us, and we were being told, that America had democracy, and they didn't make any movement until they ask their people, and what the people want they do, and so they fill our minds in this story of democracy. And look at America, and it's a great country, and they didn't involve in anything until get back in benefits to its people, and their governments are very weird to their people. So these continuous are feeding back in our minds and in the general of the people. So I don't want to tell you that all the people here don't want America to get involved in the conflict. There are some people want, frankly, some people want from America to get involved in Syria now. You know the reason? The reason, that they are believe in somehow that America can prevent Bashar al-Assad to killing innocent people and to force him to step down. So, if we will talking about these two sides, when America prevent Bashar al-Assad to kill innocent people, America will kill also at the same time. America will make any attack uh, uh, on the ground, by the air, any way. There must be there will be soul lost. So I think the result will be the same. On the other side, your president and your secretary also are always said that our intervention is not the main goal, that to force Bashar al-Assad to step down until the end of the regime. So what is the purpose of this military attack?
Exactly.
So they talking next that it makes the regime more weakness. How are we supposed to believe that? What is the kind of weak and weakness? We were fighting the regime for more than 2.5 years, and the people who weak the regime are us, are the people, are the FSA and the Syrian rebels, not you. Not you at the end, when the Syrian regime almost fallen, you will come at the end and make a military attack on Syria. There is something that we mustn't forget it about Russia. Russia are not as in my opinion, I think that Russia is not a good friend to America. So Russia love Bashar al-Assad and Syria country because it has a lot of benefits. It has a marine basement in Tartus and Latakia here in Syria. So Russia will not stay silent when America involved in Syria. So in addition to all of this, Iran also as well. So you will involve more than one country in this conflict. There will be a war in the region. There will be lives will go, and we will lose a life as we are losing now. So these all reasons has one result, that the military intervention nowadays is not welcomed in Syria. Frankly, we were at the beginning of our uprising. Me myself, I was talking to the foreign media and telling them we need any kind of intervention. We need them to stop the killing and etc. etc. You know, but it's very normal reaction because because it's our first time seeing innocent people being killed. So it's a normal reaction for us. But later on, Frank and believe me, and I'm really appreciate for this conversation to tell you what we are thinking about and to hear from you as American youth, American people who didn't know exactly what's going on the ground. This war must not be on the ground, and the military intervention is not really welcomed now in Syria. And believe me, really believe me, and if America and some Europe countries want to force Bashar al-Assad to stop killing and step down, they are involve your country in another war. Didn't You didn't enough from the past 2 or 3 wars, and you're suffering, I think. Frankly, it's a very difficult situation.
Yeah. So I don't. This is such a big subject. I don't like to only focus on negative things. I'm kind of an idea person. I like to try to think about solutions. I have one little brain for such a big issue. But if the answer is not military intervention on the ground, which I think that it's not, like we were saying 2 years ago, yeah, it would have been the right time. But now, just it's obvious, like we're both saying, that the government does not have the best interests in mind, and there's not an easy solution. But what is a way that we can help you, the people, and also, kind of a big philosophy behind my project is just the ability for people to connect with each other. Like me, I'm not part of my government. I'm not. I'm just a regular citizen, and you're a citizen, and the power that we can do things without our governments being the intermediary. So, is there any way that just the youth and the people and the regular citizens of America can support the people there?
Well, I think if you have, you know the American people more than me, of course, because you are American, and you know how can affect in American people. I think you might suggest on me some suggestions to do it. I went out on the media so many times, but I was believing that American people doesn't follow European conflict. So 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 big. I went on Voice of America saying and appealing for the American people just to follow what's going on Syria and to high pressure on their government. I don't know what you can do than this, to high pressure on your government by your own way, to help the Syrian people instead of involving in another war.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
The ways to do that, frankly, I don't know. I don't know it. If there is something that we can help each other in it, and I'm really ready on that,
Okay.
But I don't know how. Yes, I think you know what I mean.
Yeah. So an idea that I have, and I brought it up to you briefly, was unfortunately, most of the time, Americans don't really care that much about what happens outside of America. And hopefully that's just an asshole thing to say and it's wrong, but I kind of worry that that's true. And a lot of Americans, they treat foreign affairs and foreign policy and things that happen in other countries as like this one little compartment, Like 1 minute you'll watch something on TV and go, wow, 100,000 people have died in Syria. That's horrible. And then you change the channel and go, oh, hey, American Idol's on. I love the show. And they don't connect the dots. That this is the same world that we live in. You, Abu Rami, you live in the same world that I do, and I could just as easily have been born in your shoes and be on your end of the camera and you be in my place. So we can't just act like it's this compartmentalized thing and then ignore it, or allow our governments to make decisions that result in people dying, because they're not numbers in a newspaper. These are actual people. So the whole goal of my project is to be able to take somebody and go, if you've never met anybody from Syria before, if you just have these ideas of, oh, there's a war there's all these, I think there's some Al-Qaeda and some regular people, they can watch this and go, okay, now I've seen this guy's face, Abu Rami. He's a real person. I've heard his voice. I've heard his stories. And now when I think about Syria, if I think about, people suffering or people standing up for their freedom, I have a person to attach to that. So maybe something that we could do would be to give other people a similar experience. And rather than just watching this video, maybe like if you have friends or you know people, or I know that I was on your Twitter and your Facebook. Maybe you could put up a Facebook page or something, but I could get people that I'm connected to. You could get people that you're connected to, and we could just say, hey, if you want to make a friend on Facebook, if you want to Skype somebody, if you want to have an interaction, let's like show each other that we're real people and have real connections here to kind of bring it back to the real world. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a very very good steps towards to be in touch. This is the very important thing, that to be in touch and connect to each other, and to make the people who are not interesting, as you said, not interesting in what's going on in Syria or other countries that are being sold. Souls are being killed, and they are human as you as others. Why we shouldn't we care? We should really care what is going on the outside our country. At least to see the news for the whole news. I mean to see the news for at least 10 or 15 minutes in a day, and to see what's really going on. As you said, I'm ready. I'm ready to make anything that you want, or to make anything that will be helpful.
Okay.
To be on touch with a group of people. If you want to make any kind of broadcasting, you can make an audience, and you can the group of youth in America in some place, gathering some people and make them to ask me some questions. I am in homes, and if you want me to video some video here at the ground and send it to you, and you can show it to your friend. I think that I can do it. I am really ready to do it.
Okay.
And about other persons here in homes, frankly, it's something not complicated, but the activists who are talking in English are so few, and for me, I see that myself, I'm not good in English, and I'm really happy that you understand me what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's great.
But there are many. Yeah. No. Frankly, I really love, and when I started this uprising and being in touch with other media, my skills in English has improved, and I really very happy with this. So when I talk to someone an outside American or British, my language are making so good. So the persons or activists who are talking in English here in homes are so few, and maybe I can provide one or two, or maybe I can't provide anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try my best.
Okay.
You put the agenda that we will working together on it.
Okay.
And I am ready whenever you want. Just in case we need the people in your country be waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of nerdy that, here you're in a civil war and people are dying, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll help people make Facebook friends. It seems like such a worthless thing to do, but same thing. Anything that I can do for my living room in Newburgh, Oregon, I would love to help.
Believe me. Yes. I'm sorry for that, but believe me, I really appreciate your understanding and your standing toward us. Every single person has a limit power and a limit things that can do. Mm-hmm. I am not telling you to do something that you can't do it. Okay, everyone can do something, and if we all gathering our words together, it might be a bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a good thing if we walking to. And as I told you, I'm ready. If you have any project in your mind, you can write it, or you can call me via Skype. I will be ready. And please excuse me if I don't be on the internet always. But you know our difficult situations here are very difficult on me, frankly.
Yeah. Um, and so uh, just one last question on that subject. What is daily life like for you in homes? So like, do people still have jobs and go to school and go like how are people getting by day to day now? Like
Yeah.
what's a day like in your life?
Yes, frankly, you will be shocked if I told you. But nowadays, homes is three parts. One part is totally free and at the hand of Syrian rebels and FSA, where I am now, talking to you now.
Uh-huh.
The other parts, the other parts are living the people who are loyal to the regime and the security forces are guard surrounding its place and it's more safety for them. The third part are living our families, our people, and they are not allowed to went out from these districts. Where I am now, it's called besieged homes. Why it's besieged? Because we were under siege for more than 1 year and 3 months. These besieged areas are consist of 14 neighborhoods. All of these neighborhoods are by the hands of FSA and Syrian rebels. And we are not allowed, and there is no way to went out from this place or to went in. We are not allowed to enter any medical assistance or any kind of food into these places. So we were living, believe me, about 2 months ago, we had no rice, we had no sugar, okay? Only we have some water, and it's not regular water that's under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And the electricity are working only by generators.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a regular electricity, you know. We are living on the darkness on the streets. There are only darkness. These neighborhoods are surrounded by tanks and Syrian army and Hezbollah party militia and Shabiha militia. If we will trying to move from street to another, we need to move at night and we need to move to hide because all the streets are at the eye of snipers that are working to the Syrian regime. We have more than 600 families are trapped in these neighborhoods. There are children, there are infants, there are pregnant women, there are elderly persons. And in addition to the Syrian rebels and activists like us, we were like this for more 1 year and 3 months. Can you believe it?
I can't. I can't even imagine.
The third part, where are the people, our families, our friends are living there. They called a safety places because there is no FSA there. There is no security forces there. They are living some kind of normal life. It's not a really normal life, but it's some kind of normal life. And there are a lot of refugees and displaced people in that places. So this is homes nowadays. We are not living a normal life. We are not living a normal day. Our nights are darkness. Our days are full of dangerous and chilling and how many words I will tell you, I will not be able to describe the really reality here in home in particular as a small description for the Syria.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we are not sad. We are not weak because we are believing
Mm-hmm.
in our rights. We believe in our God as first, and we believe in our right to get liberty. And the way that we passed, we sure that the way that left will be so short than the way that passed.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is a word of encouragement, but I feel like, kind of like what I said before about my perceptions as an American versus what you guys were told about America. I feel like both of us, and most people around the whole world, we're all fighting for freedom and for liberty and democracy in our own ways, you know? Uh, Obviously your fight is so much more real and dangerous and urgent than ours is, but we're still fighting for the same things in our own ways. You know, we're still fighting for the freedom to live our lives the way that we want and to make decisions over our own lives and to not have a government that makes those decisions for us. Like I said, I feel bad that my fight is in my living room on my computer and yours is with guns and tanks, but maybe, you know, with our people, we can support each other and we can both, you know, gain our own victories together and get to a place where our people and your people help each other get to a better place. So just thank you so much for talking to me, Abu Rami. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to talking to you again. And like you said, hopefully we can do some things that really, can help and make a difference.
Yeah, thank you a lot for your period and this time. I really appreciate your standing and your understanding as well. And of course, we will be on touch on the next and the upcoming days. So please keep in touch and stay praying on us. And nice to meet you,
For
sir.
sure, I
Grain,
will. I pray
yes,
for you
Grain,
guys,
right?
and I hope that, you know, safety and health and happiness and freedom and all of that. I wish on you. So,
Thank you.
all right. Well,
Thank
I will talk to you soon, and I'll send you a link to this, and we'll talk about what to do next.
Okay.
All right.
God
Thank you,
bless
Abu
you.
Rami.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I hope that that was an informative interview for you. I hope that it helps you craft an even more accurate opinion about what's happening over there and what our role should be in that. I don't want this to be the end of the discussion. I want it to be just the beginning. Like we talked about, we want to find some ways in whatever small capacity for us to support the people there, whether it be just educating ourselves or speaking to them, giving them an opportunity to raise their voice and communicate with us. So I don't know what it'll look like exactly, but if you'd like to be involved in that, leave a comment below. Find me on Garin Talks to the World on Facebook and leave a comment there. And as soon as we get some things ironed out, I'll let you know how you can be involved. So thank you for watching. God bless the people of Syria, and stay tuned next time for more interviews. Thanks.